costumes like every little girl, right? Or every boy. Boys like tend to, depending on the boy, I mean, they're either dressing as a ballerina or a pirate or something in between. And, you know, for me, I always liked playing with costumes. And then I knew that clothes made people feel better about themselves. You know, and I knew that there were certain people that had a certain type of clothes, and then certain people had style, even though you couldn't pay for style. And I started watching clothes transform me. And now that I'm a mom, I watch my daughter do it with costumes and everything. So I didn't really know I was going to become a fashion publicist, per se. I had become a rock and roll publicist, and after sleeping with a lot of rock stars, which I highly recommend, and making a lot of money, and doing drugs, I had to take some time out and reflect about where I was headed. And I decided at that point that fashion was the new rock and roll. I had no idea. I was like Jim and Taxi, like, you know, Rain Man, like, yeah, fashion's the new rock and roll. I didn't know what I was saying. I was like, fashion's the new rock and roll. And that's like fake it to make it in my book. People were like, really? I was like, hell yeah. And ended up, you know, doing a fashion PR company.
We shall remain nameless. I mean, what do they do? What is it that they just sort of make for good television? I mean, they're not really accomplished at anything. They haven't really spent their life, you know, dedicated to anything, right, except being famous. How do you feel about that?
I think that the people have the power. You know, I think it's, you guys, it's the gladiator sport for you. You know, and if you decide that like Dog the Bounty Hunter is over, and you don't watch your TV and everybody's like, we hate Dog the Bounty Hunter, he has bad hair and he's like boring and we've seen this for 5 years, then Dog's gonna go, right? It's like, it's the people that have the power, it's the fans that have the power, it's the consumer that has the power. If you guys go to the store and you decide, chicken is over, we're not eating birds anymore, forget it, birds are like over, like, you know, like fur was 10 years ago or something, then guess what, all the chicken farms would close. Why? Because they don't have any money. So this is their reality. It's not my reality. It's not a reality person. Most reality people, I mean, who's to blame somebody, you know? I mean, I make more money in PR than I do on TV. But it's just like most people, it's like hire Kate Gosselin, you have 6 kids, you're fat, you're a nurse, you're married to like a low-life dude who does nothing. And somebody comes around and goes, hey, would you like to make $2,000 an episode? We'll give you 10 episodes and you can make sandwiches for your kids and be like OCD and address them. Yeah. Look at her now. She's on Dancing with the Stars. She's divorced from him. He's losing everything. And she's got like veneers and like new hair extensions. We're happy.
One thing that you want people to take away from you, from your book, from watching you here tonight, what would that be?
I think that the most important thing is that, you know, there's something called an eye scan. Like, I have a friend who's a card shark. He's a card counter, and he can't go to any casinos, like anywhere in the world, not Macau, not Vegas, not Atlantic City, not Monaco. And they can scan your eye, and your eye and your fingerprint are these individual stamps of destiny, you know? And so I think it's, you know, to find yourself. Because I believe that if you find yourself, then you will find a total abundance. Not only monetarily, but emotionally and physically, and that you'll be in tune with your purpose here. I mean, I think it's very, very interesting that there's so many people in the world, and there's not one fingerprint or one eye scan that matches our own, not even if you're a twin. You know, and I think that is really, really important, and that we have to look at people that we look up to only as a thermometer of the expression of ourselves, so that we don't try to duplicate that. Like, I know there are a lot of girls that are like, oh, I'm obsessed with Elsie, or oh, I want to be like you, or I love Whitney, or Angelina Jolie is my goddess. I'm like, mine too. But I gotta be me. I can't be Angie. I can't be running around jumping off cars with 20 kids. I mean, I'm making $80 million. I would love to, but that's not my destiny. So I think it's really important that we look up to these people as kind of tribal role models, right? And that we head toward what is our expression, right? And if you have these things that you're saying that you know inside of yourself are true, and people are telling you that it is not right for people like you, they are dangerous to you. And that is the most, and they might be your mothers, and they might be your father, and they might be your cousin, or they might be your teacher, or they might be the person next door, they might be your best friend. And it doesn't mean you have to hate them and not speak to them again. But when they speak, you need to cover your ears and be like, or like when the Saints go marching in, or do like some little kid song, and just be like, your toxicity is not going to stop me from where I need to go. Because the truth is, if you look at people who have been successful throughout history, most of them came from somewhere, but what most people would call nowhere or anywhere. They did not come from the castles. Very few kings ever did good for their villagers, you know? I mean, Paul Revere, you know, was on a horse. Ooh, the British are coming. Like, he knew where to go. He's like not a rich guy. He was a guy on a horse who was like, yo, what's up? We have trouble. Are you guys ready to go? I know who to talk to. You look at David Letterman or most Oprah. I mean, who's she? Where'd she come from? You know? I mean, these are people that came from very basic places. You know, that there was no indication that these people would have gone on to do anything significant at all, let alone transform not only themselves and their own DNA lineage and their family's lineage, but the world that we know.